Well met, lords and ladies. Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Around 6 months ago, we took a look at My Drawing Came to Life. Around the same time, I think that Emily actually looked at the Everything I Draw Comes to Life by Angel Edits, which I erroneously attributed to myself without checking the stream last time because we talked about the sequel very recently. That's how long ago it tells me on it was on YouTube, so there you go. I'm going to see how Alex have a session today. There's noticeably brain cells like they were watching that Aphmau movie. I mean, I think we're in good hands today because while I've been preparing and also toying away with the thumbnail and such, I've also been rewatching the episode because I remembered close to nothing about it. And to be quite honest, yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I don't know what I said about it in the actual review, but from what I've looked back at it, it's actually it was actually, you know, pretty well put together. It had a consistent character arc. It had a journey that was somewhat unique in places and somewhat cliched in others. But then again, it wouldn't be RosyClozy without, you know, a combination of those things. So I guess that's what you get basically. And to be honest, yes, it seemed like it seemed like it had a very clear goal in mind, and it very much achieved that goal at that particular during the actual episode itself. Because I mean, it was a mini movie. It was like 29 minutes long. So I mean, it seemed to pretty much, you know, wrap itself up quite neatly. The characters were all ready to, you know, move on with their lives essentially, and yeah, like the desperate need of the magic pencil was kind of fulfilled. So naturally, because it's the Gacha community, we have an unnecessary sequel. Or maybe this was always the intention. I don't really know. But to be honest, it does seem more of a case of, hey, I want a part 2 of this mini movie. Give me a part 2. It's like, oh well, I guess I can. But then again, I think I did compare this to Nanny McPhee in the sense that not necessarily so much in like the need and not want aspect, but the want but no longer need towards the end of the Drawing OC's existence in the first place. He fulfilled his purpose, and then during that week, and then he returned. But Jess, the main character, was still better off after the experience. This time, yeah, who knows? Because Nanny McPhee and the Big Bang was a really good sequel, as far as I'm concerned. So we'll see what happens today. And along with us for the ride, making a miraculous internet recovery, it seems, is BB. Or not. Okay. Well, maybe she stepped away for a second. Oh, okay. I heard something.
No, I didn't. So okay. I want to give context for why I'm here, actually, before I just drop this, okay? So, chat, okay, 2 weeks ago, we were... God, there's so many steps to... Okay, I'm in a college dorm. There's another college dorm for the athletics kids. And it's awful, it's terrible, they are taking it down this year. And in the process of taking it down, as it would turn out, the origin point for both dorms' internet happened to be in the athletes' dorm. So when the construction crew started tearing stuff down, they cut a fiber. So we were out of internet for like 3 days, and then we came back. We were back for a few days, and as of like 2 days ago, or yesterday, I forget at this point, they cut another fiber. We were out of internet again. So as of like maybe 30 minutes ago, we just got internet back. So I was desperate to hear like a living, normal voice that can actively respond to me. But our internet might be a bit finicky. So if I'm silent for a bit, it's probably because you sound like robots or I'm disconnecting, not by my own free will.
Yeah. Well, you seemed very excited about it, so and naturally you would be. I mean, for crying out loud, like my internet was down for a day, and it was already they threw me out of whack for some time. So yeah, Completely understandable. And it's great. It's great to have you back here. Let's hope this doesn't make you wish that you hadn't returned. Let's say, because you never know with sequels. Also, yeah. Oh, by the way, I guess yeah. Welcome Himari to the streams. And also,
Hello.
yeah, this about the movies. I guess Bon has already responded to this. Yeah, there's stuff, animation, gacha series, things like that. Yeah, gacha review is that it's quite vast. Not normally, if I had to say like what the majority of reviews are, it's of episodes of series, so not mini movies of this length usually. Another reason we need to crack on, basically. But yeah, like most of the time, as long as it has like like a story, like some semblance of an act structure, is what we deal with. Very occasionally, we'll deal with music videos and stuff. I don't know. All right then, inspired me to start making gacha series. Oh, you mean you mean the original video? Well, if that's the case, we might be in safe hands after all. Let's go ahead and find out, shall we? So without further ado, on with the review. My life. Okay.
Yo, we're about to start the new Hamilton musical.
It does kind of seem like that, to be honest. How does an OC drawing sketched in the middle of a classroom?
Oh shoot! See, whenever I heard that bit, the one that popped into my head, it was the world turned upside down.
Well, if we're starting Hamilton, go from the beginning. But yes, understandable. Yeah. All right. Well, actually, wait, hold on. It's Joy My Life again. He'll be back. That would have made more sense. Ah, okay. All right then. Look forward to school nearly every day to see Peter and Melody. Peter and Melody are the two friends that Haruki helped her make when he was last around, I guess. Even life at home has improved. My dad is less nosy than he used to be. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another thing, by the way. The dad encouraged her to make friends, and then the moment that she actually did bring a friend home, admittedly under very short notice, and having them stay for a week, which is definitely not the way to go about it. But what else was she going to do in that situation? But he seemed to be more bothered by the fact that the friend in question was a boy. Which, by the way, is his own fault. He didn't specify. He just said make friends. Not really. So that was something that he had to actually, learn. So he had a little bit of a character arc and evolution last time as well, which again seems to have been resolved. I do love when sequels begin when everything seems to have been resolved for the better. Life is great. Life is good. It could be better. I still miss Haruki, though. It feels like a part of me is missing in a way. I think this is exactly what I said in the video. Normalize opposite gender friendships. Like, obviously, that was like the way that the dabs went. It was intended as commentary rather than like, oh, classic dads doing what dads do and whatnot. I have had conversations in real life with people my age who don't have kids yet. So this was like a university conversation that I had, and they're saying like, if I had a daughter, I would not let her hang out with guys. It's like because I know what guys are like. It's like, great, okay, you're not really helping break the cycle in that case. Anyway,
I don't know. Yeah, that's one of those really weird things because it's. Whenever I was very young, there was always the classic like parents, oh, bullying, they must like whatever. But
oh yeah, that's another thing.
That's one thing that I just don't think is really excusable. I don't get it. But
also leads to problems later on. If you think, oh, if someone hurts me constantly, they must really like me. That's
sure, yeah.
As you progress through life,
yeah, especially whenever you're at a very young age and are incredibly malleable. Let's say,
yes.
But I think, well, that I don't think is excusable. I have seen the take of like, I know what guys are like. I've seen that take, and it's one that I can kind of I don't agree with it, but I can understand and kind
Yeah.
of like I can rationalize pretty easy how it gets to that point. But what I would like the problem is like yes, if they you can't keep them away from men forever, right? This isn't Wonder Woman, and
This
even
is
then, she
exactly
didn't
what
get
the
away
issue
with it
with.
forever.
Yeah, this is the issue. Another issue I have with Sylvana, where she says, no boys, no boys for all of her life, and suddenly, like when Aphmau is 26 in canon, his son is like, hey, I want grandbabies, get a boyfriend.
Sure.
That's not Aaron. That's not the boyfriend you already have and already like quite on your own.
Yeah. I think whenever it comes to keeping femme presenting people away from men, it's not going to be generally beneficial, partly because you can't keep them away forever, but also because from a man's perspective, I think there's the aspect that if they don't interact with women, right? Because the whole reason why this is a thing is because of many, many, many years of toxic masculinity, right? That's no
Mhm.
secret. I think that if you keep them separate though, they aren't gonna learn to be better.
Of
And
course not.
depending on their location in the world, they might not be living in a setting where the world is actively promoting them to get better. So keeping them like separated in that sort of way is not going to help the case.
Yeah, so if you are lucky enough to live in a place where that is promoted, then by all means, go for it. This is actually a thing in a lot of like old school British comedies, especially like even the ones that like rerun to this day. They are like hilarious and have stood the test of time in some aspects. It is quite notable that a lot of them don't have much of a female cast, and in some cases not at all, and that results in a lot of conversations about women without women being involved, and that's and they definitely veer off in a, let's call it, lad humor direction. That's one thing that I've noticed, that is
Sure.
from stuff like for 70s and 80s that they keep reviving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One really really funny example of
Mhm.
that I have actually I found this out like a few weeks ago um about like about like what happens when they just don't interact that much is because you make a point, right, where it's like on the shows right there, it's like you're talking about them but they aren't there and they aren't
Mhm.
like focused. So a few days ago I learned about this Marvel novel. It's an Iron Man novel. It's called Iron Man Femme Fatales.
Okay.
It's written by a man named Robert Greenberger. Him being a man is deeply important here
I
because
was
there's
gonna
not a
say, you started off the sentence with "it's written by a man." That was
yeah,
clearly, yeah.
that's a very important detail here.
Mhm.
Because there's not a co-author here. It's just him, and obviously the title is Femme Fatale, so you're gonna picture that's the that's gonna be a trope they focused on. You know what the first thing is in the description?
Something about the character's physical appearance of some description.
Vaguely. I think it really like leads into like this complete misunderstanding of how this separation works. The first thing right there, big capitalized
Men are from
stinger.
Mars, women are from Venus.
No, it's more deadly than the male.
Oh.
And it's like it's not
The
toxic, I
female of the
suppose, but it's
species is
just
more
like
deadly
such a
than the
degree
male.
of like you have no comprehension of like how the alienation, like the way that you get there is not great, but that being the
Yeah,
result is the funniest thing in the world to me.
yeah. But I think I mentioned this story that I just told last time we reviewed this series, I guess. Because as it was very recent at the time. So uh I mentioned Denethor again, like my first lost family friend, etc. Yeah, he actually he has a daughter, and he's considering at one point sending her to study in the UK for a year, because obviously they live in Spain. So it's like, okay, to get the experience, basically. Her English is already pretty good. But yeah, you know, it's again, it's good, but it could be better, you know. Again, yeah, that's he hasn't fully finalized on that, but yeah, he was asking, you know, recommendations or something, and then I think my dad actually mentioned something along the lines of oh yeah, there's this, you know, insert name of school here, that one might be a good one because it is a boarding school that is nearby to us. The thing is, it is an all-girls boarding school.
Sure.
So I instantly went like, wait, hold on a second. Just to specify, it is an all-girls school. That be aware, I don't recommend it personally for that reason. It's like, I mean, I hate they single-gender schools anyway for a multitude of reasons that I'm not against you right now. And then my dad said, oh well, that might be that might be a good thing, you know, like no guys. I was like, wait a second, because then he talked about his own secondary school experience, and he mentioned that how a lot of the guys that he went to school, because he went to an all boys school, he said, oh, they would have been, I know them, they would have been like, they've been very distracted by the presence of girls in the room. It's like, well, first of all, you don't know that for sure, because I mean, the mere act of them being there, they would get used to it at some point, like just by like pure exposure therapy. But secondly, again, like you're not normalizing it. That's again, this was obviously, he went to second school around the same time as those British comedies that I mentioned earlier were first airing, kind of normalizing that kind of idea as well. So again, breaking the cycle.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing because I think, of course, not being a man, I don't really, I can't be in their head, right? The best thing that I can really come to is that the men who come to the conclusion keep them away. I think what it is it's enough introspection to be aware that there is a problem there. But it's
they see themselves or their younger selves as part of the problem as well. Like they knew what their mentality was on top of everyone else's.
But also statistically speaking, men often have a harder time opening up and being sensitive, right? That's a thing that's slowly going away as time goes on.
What would help with that?
Well, no, but statistically speaking, that is generally the case. And so I think what it is it's this mix of introspection and being aware that there's a problem, but too afraid to go into the details of it and really dive into how can I fix it myself or promote fixing it in others. Because it would require too much openness, even within oneself. It betrays the macho mentality, right? So they will just generally try to avoid it, which is common in general, but it happening within oneself is something I could see.
Yeah, and that's not even mentioning the whole issue with the alpha male communities to this day and how much that they alienate themselves on purpose.
God, they frustrate me so much because they're not doing
that's like the natural. That's like the evolution of the concept from like the 70s and 80s and blah blah blah. Yeah,
and it's turned into like what really only fits in the modern day, which is an extremist version of it. And it's any youth especially who's going to YouTube and seeing, or like Spotify or something, and seeing a stream or a video or podcast from these sorts of people. Oh my God, it's not doing any favors. It can't be.
All right. Yeah, you're right. 10-minute tangent. I didn't actually mean for it to go like this deep because I think I made most of these points during the last episode. But again, that was 6 months ago. So sure, for the sake of the live, let's go over those things again. But again, relating back to the video, that was presented in the form of commentary as something to move away from, not as a normalization of it, which is the difference here. That's why it wasn't a bad criticism like we had before. It's a good one. Also, I was going to say, yeah, it looks like to you with a fan. You should see what one of my students did today, actually. Because he had his back turned. He had like an actual proper fan, because they're like the attractive ones, like they like Yumi Ishiyama style fan. Because they're fairly common in Spain for reasons you would probably think. So basically, he was turned around. The teacher called on him, and he just went, "Yes." That happened today. Okay. Right. Now let's return to the video finally. Hopefully I haven't scared Himari off by talking for incessantly. All right.
I haven't seen Himari talk in
Thank you for emphasizing this and making me pause again to reiterate this. Okay. I tried bringing him to life again with the magic pencil that my grandma gave me, which is how he came to life originally, by the way. But it doesn't work anymore. See, this is the thing. I wonder if because this is different to Angel edits, like anything I draw comes to life, where it was like from like the innate talent of the person, or like some like power. It was the pencil in question. Maybe it was a one-time use situation. If that's the case, go back to the shop again and see what they say.
Oh, it was working on Doodle Bob logic.
Essentially, yes. That is probably where the idea came from.
They have an awesome sword fight at the end too.
No, there was no fighting involved. It was very much a case of let's help this character overcome their social anxiety rather than, you know, full-on confrontation. I don't think RosyClozy has done like any action series or any fight sequences to that effect as of right now.
To be fair, SpongeBob often doesn't either, not in that direct of a sense. I don't know who was in the writing room to decide on that being like an exception, but God, it was so good. Having the Doodle Bob episode end with like a genuinely decent like climactic like sword fight with pencils, brilliant.
Mm-hmm. Ah, there we go. See, that's what I was saying. Dark Mysterious Man. Here we go. How can I make Haru come back? Chest compressions, chest compressions, chest compressions. I'm kidding. Oh, last time he flew like up and shrunk down and went into the book. That was a save animation right there. Haruki saved me from a life of loneliness. I suppose I have to move on without him now. Yeah, you know, this is something I mentioned before, where there's a movie called Stand By Me, Doraemon. I don't know if anybody was heard of, but I mean, I'm speaking to the wrong crowd here because it's not super popular in English spheres. But Doraemon is one of the longest running anime of all time. Actually, both versions of Doraemon, the one that ran from 1972 to 2005, the one 2005 to today, you know, both of them are entered in that category now. And yeah, it's one of those like iconic things in Spain as well. And they made in 2020, the Stand By Me Doraemon movie came out. First time they used 3D animation and whatnot. They sort of like retold the story, a bit like the origin, basically. And the end. The ending of the movie, they didn't think about the implications of this. So because it was very much in the case of like, okay, so Doraemon like came over. It's essentially kind of like, if you've seen like Fairly Odd Parents, is like the idea behind that, you know, like, you know, like kid down on his luck, somewhat for self-inflicted reasons, somewhat others not necessarily so much. You know, it receives them a robotic cat from the future who who has a Mary Poppins style magic pocket that he can like pull inventions from said future, and those are meant to, you know, help solve solve problems. They often cause them because it's episodic and yada yada. In this one, it was a case of like, okay, so you know, the idea was like really to like get this kid motivated to actually, you know, help improve his own life. So again, the case of when you want me but no longer need me, then I have to go. Classic thing again. And yeah, but the thing is, like, there was a loose plot thread basically, where it's like, because it was implied that, okay, you know, him, he has to grow up on his own in order to like make that the future happen in the first place. But the thing is that they left like a thing where like it grants like a wish of some kind, and he accidentally wishes for Doraemon to return at the end, and that implies that that's what kickstarts the rest of the series. You know, the ones that have been airing for a minimum of 20 years or more, if you count the 1972 version, or 79 version, but 72 was like a mini one. And so that kind of made me think like, okay, they did not think about this, because like that means that they've essentially said that this character is like in like arrested development for the rest of his life, like for eternity, basically. And he has essentially doomed himself in one moment of understandable, you know, like child desire to an eternity of essential of like never being able to evolve, and constantly and like there's like moments that he had from the beginning of the movie. And that kind of made me have like a bit of an existential crisis on behalf of this character that I've been following since I myself was a child.
Sure.
So it may be the point being, it may be for the best that Haruki improved Jess's life and she's able to move on her own. And once she's done with this like heavy stage of the grieving process, she will be able to fully realize that. Is what I thought at the end of the first mini movie, but here we are in the sequel, so that's clearly not going to happen.
Yeah, they tried doing that thing multiple times with Fairly Odd Parents, and you know, every time they did it, that's whenever Timmy got one step closer to the people that argue maybe he's a villain. Timmy really went off the deep end whenever his fairies almost disappeared.
Fair enough. Yeah, in the case of Nobita, the main character, he's he just essentially, he manages to get like no marks on test scores all the time. He is lazy by child standards. But to be honest, like those like the two main things that they constantly like gets flack for in the series. But also the things that like are actively like keeping him from evolving past where he is. So it's much less of a case of him as of an unwholesome scenario. He is quite selfish with certain inventions, but again, a lot of the Dragon episodes involve like the karmic punishment of overusing these things.
Yeah, Timmy's just a little monster sometimes. He like forced everyone into a time loop one episode, and
there is the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, the big twist was, and this is kind of how they explained how everyone was still like the same age despite the show running for so long. Timmy wiped everyone's memories after sticking them all in a time loop. So it's been like 40 years they've spent in this.
Which is longer than the series has been going on for, if I recall. So they covered their grounds.
Yeah.
they made sure that they had an excuse for a long time, which is fair. Yeah, Doraemon hasn't like directly done that to my knowledge. There are like thousands of episodes, so I could be wrong in that situation. But aside from the Stand By Me movie, they've never addressed why Doraemon is still there. Anyways, Subjis! Hey, still sketching away, I see. You caught me. Still drawing little doodles of your crush. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Jess and Haruki kissed right before he returned to drawing form. So, I guess it was obvious to Melody during that time. Why did it? No, admit it. I've seen the drawings of Haruki. Oh yeah, from their perspective, they probably think he was just an exchange student that left, and she's been sketching him ever since, rather than the reality which was that he was sketching him long before that point. And yeah, now I see why they came to that conclusion. Oh, really? You didn't know she had a crush on him?
Man, that might be the reddest blush we've seen in any of these Gacha reviews.
It was nicely faded in as well. I think I've seen one series that did a red blush like this, but not one that faded in to this degree. I only knew for a few days. Guys, stop. Sorry, Jess, I'm only teasing. But that voice is very well, because like his first line in the first episode is like "Yo, teacher" or something. So that's why I gave him that voice. Still, I wonder how Haruki is doing in Japan. We should have asked for his Skype info before he left. By the way, this was written in 2019.
When was this made? Okay, I don't know. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, by Brennan Mulligan, the process, I think it seems like Skype very much was like sent to Doom via Zoom the year after this came out, and also, by the way, I believe Skype has actually been decommissioned this month.
Oh,
so yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go. Mm-hmm.
That's how you know it's dead. I didn't even know it just collapsed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't go out with a bang, more with a huh? Did that happen?
Oh, 5 years ago.
Are you in contact with him?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, it was this month that it actually physically died, but you know, I guess it was last relevant over 5 years ago, as evidenced by this video. Well, I still must have the courage to tell them the truth.
Bon, Omegle probably wasn't that much of a tragedy. Let's be honest here. Skype at least had some usefulness.
It was a mercy. It was a mercy.
Like,
yeah. See, one thing that the Skype like had like as an intrinsic advantage over everything else is that you could actually call phone numbers via Skype.
Yeah.
Which is actually how I recently like performed a US call like 2 months ago. Right, but that's what I found out because my dad told me, oh, okay, they're actually like, you know, merging Skype with Teams. Well, Brennan already made that point, but but yeah, like actually they didn't carry over that feature or anything like from the Skype format. So
yeah, my phone has the same feature except it's not under Skype; it's under FaceTime.
That is semi-normal experience on Omegle. Leave me alone. Did you? You actually showed your face on camera? I'm more surprised by that than anything else that you've said thus far.
And with people from Omegle of all people.
I guess there is a sense of lack of judgment in that situation because you're not going to be seeing any of those people again. Usually, I'm looking up actually that there was a video by the artist formerly known as Sky Does Minecraft that there was an Omegle video, which is where they met Awkward Industries, which I didn't realize at first as I was scrolling through their old videos at one particular point many years ago, and then I recognized the voice immediately and the mic quality. I was like, oh wow, that's Awkward Industries. Okay. Say sometimes you meet people on Omegle or you would meet people on Omegle that would stick with you, but most of the time, not so much. Anyway, I still think it's Japan living a normal life. Yes, we got that from their dialogue. Thank you. Oh, you stopped after Omegle in protest. You're in permanent mourning now.
You know,
you have physically and metaphorically veiled yourself.
You know, before I was surprised because it was like, oh, you showed it on specifically Omegle. Now I'm unsurprised that Omegle was the thing that killed it.
Tell the truth. Well, I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Anyway, there's something I need to tell you.
Oh my God! Wait. Oh, that reminds me. Holy shit. Oh, sorry, I got so excited. Sorry. No. Okay. The permanent mourning thing that just triggered. So. Tom's Crossing, the upcoming book from Mark Z. Danilevsky. I think I talked about this a while back where I was like, oh, I signed up for like a galley to get a like an early copy, but I probably won't win or whatever. I got a teaser edition. It's only the first like 169 pages or whatever, but I have it in my hand right now. I'm really excited to see if any of my dead are in it. I don't know. Because Mark did a whole thing where you can submit a list of like your dead loved ones that you like consider like still haunting your memory and such, and those that you want to see move on to like a better place. And someone made it into this book.
I can easily see that going wrong very quickly, but all right. All right. Also, if I said these exact words, you would call me salted butter again. Just let you know. Anyway, but not here. Somewhere private. You know, away from all the off-screen extras. Oh, okay. Speaking of, this is not an extra, by the way. This is Steph, I think her name was.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the she was actually the popular girl that originally approached Haruki and Jess and sort of like almost welcomed them in, but Haruki kind of like lashed out on her, and so that caused like a feedback loop. Yeah.
Salty as a lifestyle is a statement that my stepfather can get behind. He throws way too much salt on everything.
I thought you were implying that he has too much salt in his diets, but yeah, fair enough.
I mean, he does, but you know, he is diabetic.
Right. So, what do you want to tell us? It's about Haruki. The thing is, Haru isn't real. He's a character I created using this pencil. Well, okay, you created him long ago. And what I would do here, actually, to help make this point, is to show like older drawings, like in that date back to way further than Haruki mentioned himself existing. So, yeah. But then again, she's averse to showing anyone her old sketches because classic artist in that sense. So, you never know. It's hard to explain, but the man from the shop told us that the magic only lasts 1 week, and yeah, the man from the shop, now she's going off the rails here. Whoa, Jess, slow down. Are you okay? We know you miss Haru, but... I'm telling the truth! I know it's hard to believe. I didn't believe it at first. That's why I'm always sketching him, because I want him to come to life again, compared to before when you were sketching him in general. Although then again, she did actually actively make the wish that he were real, and that's what. And then, in classic Gacha style, he woke up in her bed and whatnot. But yeah,
what a sentence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, apparently, according to, it was either the grandmother or no, it was the shop owner actually. He said that it only responds to a desperate need. So in this story, unless there's a desperate need for a drawing to come to life, I guess it probably would not.
Who measures desperation?
Well, I guess who determines worthiness when it comes to Mjolnir? Same idea, I guess. It's either the item itself or the person who created it. Whatever their sense of judgment is.
That's fair. See, the nice thing is they don't have to worry about that in the actual myth. You just have to be really buff.
Well, I mean, I guess, but I mean, I guess no one did try to break Excalibur's stone. I guess.
Yeah, true. Have you seen the short from Dropout where it's like it's say like an extraction crew goes to like the stone?
No,
it's pretty good.
Fair enough. By the way, yeah, Mirror from Hogwarts, yeah, the Mirror of Erised. It is worth reminding people that RosyClozy did start off by making a series called Changes, which was a Drarry series, very much set in the Wizarding world. So, I mean,
hey Bon,
I guess
are you keeping your eye on our Twitch chat as well?
Probably not. And most of the time, whenever those messages appear, I tend to ignore them.
Yeah, but I need to delete them if no one else is keeping an eye.
Wow. I'm noticing a trend of at the end of these scenes, the camera zooms in and then like pans off to the side. That seems to be like a common transition, for better or worse. With the Steph one from before, it worked because that was a reveal of her, but I don't know why we need that again in that situation. But I don't know. She can't be serious. I knew she was a weirdo, but this, a magic pencil. I mean, come on, right? Oh, see, well, wasn't quite so much. It was still panning towards, but still going towards the corner. I don't know. It's zooming in on her. That doesn't count. Ah, there you go. Now Bon's on Twitch. You know what would have been actually a bit even more symbolic here? If this were mac and cheese, that was like the first like food that Haru had like with his family. Maybe there wasn't a prop for it. Actually, no, there is. Because I found one. Yeah, forget I said that. Well, I also love the detail that the parents have wine with their dinner, and meanwhile Jess has water because I mean she would too, of course. Yeah. Anyways, so how was school? Good. How's Melody and Peter doing? They're fine. Just invite them over again sometime. Your dad's okay with boys now. Peter can show up. Sure. What's up, Pumpkin? That should have had a comma, by the way. What's up, comma, Pumpkin? Because it's a nickname. Anyway. It's nothing. Just... I miss Haru. A lot of you stayed in contact with him. I'm sure the boy has Gachagram, whatever you kids use these days. Yeah, the shop is called Gacha Crafts, and this is, yeah. I think Gachagram did get mentioned in the Music Freaks. So I think that is a consistent idea, basically. No, I can't talk to him. You wouldn't believe me even if I tried explaining it to you anyway. You never trust me, father. Also, yes, the sun is absolutely is a little big. That is true. Yeah, this actually is something that that I fixed in the latest Mutant Girl remake, actually, because this is supposed to be, you know, the setting for like Marwick's apartment and whatnot. Or at least there's one that I used. Of course, the problem is when we look outside, you know, I mean, yeah, sure, we could possibly live on the first floor of said apartment, but you know, in my mind, never did. So that's why that's why in the remake, I made sure to edit the background out and, you know, do the whole, you know, thing with moving sky and buildings outside and everything and yada yada. Yeah. Background with green screen windows. Yeah. This is a fairly commonly green screened background for reasons that, yeah, the sun, you know, being that big, would definitely scorch a bunch of stuff. Thanks for the food. Teenagers, so dramatic. Remember what you were like at her age when you were pining over me? This is one thing I do appreciate about like the first episode, is that we have these moments with the parents that actually do feel like conversations parents would have with each other. Like obviously that does I don't normally talk about like the age of the creators of gacha videos for a reason, but it does play to RosyClozy's advantage here of having, like, you know, like reached a mature enough age to appreciate these conversations and actively be able to replicate them. I wasn't pining. It's good to have, but it could be better. Rule of threes. Yeah, the one in the first episode was a little bit more nuanced, I guess, but yeah. This one's okay. And yeah, true, the off the chair goes into the void. Yeah, classic gacha life. Which again is one thing I appreciate with I think it was Angel Edits that we oh wait, no, it wasn't. It was Midori Stories where they're, you know, with the empty chair. As like Midori Stories will permanently be underrated in my opinion. Anyway, I hope Haru contacts us soon. It's such a shame he lives so far away. Next scene. Guess what? We're going to Japan for a week. Wait, what? You said he was from this prefecture, right? I'm sure we'll be able to find him. It's like, okay. Oh, welcome back, Iona. Stare. And again, always appreciate. Well, I mean, obviously, because the issue with Gacha Life in this case is that it looked like she was staring directly at the back of Peter's head rather than at the pencil. But hey, the cinematography clarified that for us, you know? Do you two want to hang out at mine again tonight? Sure! Yeah! Okay, hold on. Why did she have to bump into her? The pencil was in the bag. Why did she need to, like... Because Jess didn't reach for it yet. She could have very easily ducked in, like, just gone like a... or something, like Artful Dodger style, rather than having to draw attention to herself. Because now, when she realizes, oh, hey, the pencil's gone, I wonder who's responsible. You played yourself, Steph.
Hi, Lana.
Anyways. Rip, sorry! That's where you're going. What was that? We can't hear you from up here. We can't hear you from up here. Come on. Also, from up here, from the camera perspective, that character was further down. That was weird phrasing. Anyway. Ignore the melody. They're just jerks. What's their problem recently? That is true, because like beforehand they actively ignored Jess, but I guess because of Haru's, that's one negative aspect, is that Haru was like very like hot-headed and quick to defend her, even if it was like a mild jab, and so that probably end up netting something negative in this case rather than the good, which came from bonding Jess with these friends. Yeah, I'm guessing the one with pink hair is a bully and a spoiled brat. What makes you think that? Blech. Ever since Jess started hanging out with us, they won't leave her alone. That's a good question. Did these two hang out with each other before Haruki got involved? I don't remember them doing so. This whole friendship group seemed to have like been built together from him, but no. I have a few ideas why. But it's fine. Let me just get my stuff together. It was all in one place anyway, but sure. I also like how she's the only one who has a school bag, because I guess it's the only one relevant to the scene. Anyway. Another thing I appreciate here, she's actually looking around and they're going to continue the conversation. Okay. Just because you're a wuss and wants to have to Stephanie, Peter. I'm not a wuss! Stephanie is very intimidating! And... The pencil! Where did I put the pencil? The magic pencil! Oh, my grandma gave me... Yes, yeah, we... She's panicking, fair enough. It's fine, Jess. We'll find the pencil. It's got to be in here somewhere. You might want to look for it outside the class, but yeah, by all means.
Probably just assume she dropped it or something, despite how ginormous it is.
And then she took the skirt off me and told me I was grounded. Okay, I like to think what she meant was, that the skirt was like confiscated, was like in her hands or something, rather than a go to your room! Like that, I don't think that was a sport book. Yeah. Clumsy phrasing, but I get it. Yeah, in that order. Exactly. Just to clarify, I think there was a case of, like, taking something off someone that they were, like, holding, rather than... Okay. I hate her so much! Oh, okay, that's, not reading that out loud. Anyway. Clara, do you have paper I could borrow? You know something? This is actually this more relatable than you would think. The amount of times that the students have asked me specifically for paper or for pencils when they should be bringing those in. That is one of the rules. They're supposed to bring pencil and paper from home. It's concerning, especially at this stage. Also, how Rose have dignity and her freedom, or should I say stripped her of it. Again, if it was on a person, then yes, but I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not, but yeah. The magic pencil, where is it? Yeah, why? I don't know, maybe to write on? It's a classic. Can I go to the bathroom? Why? Give me 5 minutes and I'll tell, and you'll see why, teacher. Anyway. Just give me some. All right. Hey, where are you going? That's by the ADHD fair. Yeah, we're talking about the pencil here, yes. Okay, this is interesting, because this is the scene that Haruki disappeared in. So depending on how this magic works, if she's able to bring him back in some way, if that is what she does, then he might not even remember having Oh, no, he would, because at the end it was, the drawing like kind of looked in Jess's direction. So he's conscious of his drawing existence now. He's fully sentient and aware, as horrifying as that is as an idea. Yeah, anyone play Doodle Date? Remember Sketchy personality? Anyway.
Hey, anyone ever watch SpongeBob?
Also, Which, by the way, you got to wonder how they managed to get a pencil and paper to work underwater. But anyway, magic.
You have to admit, you have to think about everything there. Look, it's easier if you just don't, because it never works. None of these episodes are even physically possible.
Mm-hmm.
Not a one.
Yeah. Just want to sort of try to gamble it on the roll of the dice. You summon us once, you summon us twice, you gamble it on the roll of the dice. Yeah. Summon Haru in Lakeside Mall. I mean, of all places, I suppose. In this context, this would be a black altar. But then again, also Jess's bedroom would be, which is even worse. Anyway.
That's like making something on top of like an old Indian burial ground.
Mm-hmm. I wonder where that cliche came from, because they use it in everything as far as an excuse for, like spirituality.
It probably comes from actual myth.
Hmm.
Why am I even listening to her? But it is weird that I can't find Haru on any social media. You could just not have an account, but sure.
Fun fact, most Japanese people use a social media called Line. That's like their most popular social media that's not used around here. The second most popular one is TikTok, but then again, 2019.
Sure.
I'll just test it, just to see if it works.
I mean, if this is a one-use deal, you've just used your time. Although then again, it's out of a desperate need, basically. Does Stephanie have a desperate need to be proven right about this pencil? That is the question.
Apparently so.
I guess she does. All right then. Again, another unique aspect here, because I mean, I'm guessing what happened is that with these RosyClozy was like drawing the stick figure a lot like on top of the screenshots and editing it that way. I've never seen it done in that way. Beyond a couple of things, because I mean, in Taming the Bad Boy, that is exactly how Shorty drew the leash that Yuki had attached to his collar at one point and was tied to the lamp, or loosely lassoed onto the lamp, because he very much could have lifted it up. But anyway, so yeah, if you're doing medium cosmos get to the kind of life with only half of their body. And another very good question. Oh, okay.
Well, okay.
Wait, need fulfilled. I mean, okay, the magic was supposed to last for a week, so that thing was not meant to die that quickly, but I guess if it go by need fulfilled, then maybe. But that wasn't the implication. It seemed like the week was like a hard, like, set in stone date, basically.
Man, Alan Becker really went in an interesting direction.
Yeah. I imagine RosyClozy probably was aware of Alan Becker at this time.
I hope so. I know Alan Becker isn't like as popular now, but like he was really popular at the time, and he's still uploading bangers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It came to life. No way. It worked. I could draw Haruki. Better yet, a raid how to do it could be my boyfriend.
See, here's the thing. Like, Jess is canonically really good at drawing, and it's because obviously she's done so for a long time beforehand, which is why she was able to bring Haruki's life. Because people complimented, like her artistic abilities in terms of that, and making it and it was clearly a convincing, humanoid figure. Let's say. I'm not sure. We haven't seen Steph's abilities yet, so I'm not sure if she's also as able to do so. If not, we might end up with. Did you remember that one Gravity Falls episode where Dipper photocopies himself a bunch and they come to life?
Yeah.
And while the piece of paper was wrinkled, that's what I'm picturing. But if that's how Haruki manifests himself again, even more of an existential horror.
Yeah. Well, see, that one wasn't so terrifying because, like, the way they framed that episode was that the wrinkled one just simply had a disability and everyone kind of, like, loved him. No, the existential horror is the ones that were completely aware and the clone version of neurotypical and were like, I don't want to melt, man.
Yeah. Which, again, another thing. All right, there. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, different proportions, etc., etc. Yeah.
Oh, God!
I was about to do a similar voice, not gonna lie. By the way, this is actually something. In terms of UK slang, if you want to describe like somebody, if somebody feels that they are ugly, they'll sometimes say look like a goblin specifically. So in terms of like using goblins as stand-ins for ugliness in general, that also kind of tracks.
I don't know that goblins are ever been like the epitome of beauty.
No, but they are specifically used as a stand-in for ugliness rather than any of the alternatives. Anyway.
I didn't mean to create you! You're supporting my new hot boyfriend!
Ah, I see you haven't read Frankenstein.
Ugh.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's why the pencil was broken in the thumbnail. And okay, I guess Haruki was stored inside the pencil rather than in the drawings, despite the ending implying that he was sentient inside of the sketches that Jess made after the fact. Okay. It's a good point. As I don't know, you're sketching if you take a small break. Yeah, I guess you have to like make consistent strokes or something. I suppose. I don't know.
My assumption would be that if there's some force that knows your exact desperation level and it makes the things disappear once their like use is done, I have to assume that it also is aware whenever like the act of the spell or whatever is completed. Right?
Hopefully.
Now, how it still ended up... Now, that gives it that kind of, like, intelligence. So, now what I question is how it made this little troll thing. But...
Where... You... Have you seen my ship, lassie?
Hello?
Okay, I'm guessing anyone who was drawn with a pencil is coming to life now, potentially. Maybe, I assume that Jess had more than one OC. Maybe this is the less regular one.
Maybe the idea is that the pencil was like all the magic was like trapped within the pencil, and now that it's snapped, it's like the box has been opened.
I need to find my ship. Imagine if he comes back at the end after Jess and Haruki kiss again. It's like, I found me ship, all right. His characters only show up out of desperation. She desperately wanted the other terrible drawings. Well, she desperately wanted a boyfriend, that's for sure. Oh, hey, look, the author desperately wanted a cameo, so she manifested one. Okay. Ah, well, what do we have here? So yeah, these are obviously like the versions of the characters from the Changes series, which has since been, at the very least, pirated, if not deleted entirely. But hey, I bet RosyClozy has forgotten that they existed in this continuity.
That
oh well, that's for joining us.
Rosy forgot that she had a cinematic universe out there.
I guess, well, I mean, not so much because "Boy with Bad Luck" was mentioned in Music Freaks. Actually, no, it featured as a video, so I guess it's more like Nickelodeon, where they might have crossovers with each other, but also acknowledge that they are shows, which is
Sure.
all kinds of anyway.
And depends on the show too. It's not always consistent.
Yeah. By the way, I guess this also means the magic pencil has no sense of copyrights, which it wouldn't probably.
Just the way it should be.
Yeah. I at one point was going to start a fan fiction series called The Magic Printer, which is all about like existing OCs coming to life and from somebody's perspective who's like really into art particularly. I was trying to do that specifically so that Short would read my fanfics. I was like, okay,
Sure.
This is like tailored, yeah. Anyway, I guess off they fly. Which, by the way, they would not fly off like that in the presence of Muggles. They wouldn't do that. You're flying like broad daylight in front of them. You have no idea in that situation. You can break the statute of secrecy.
Well, is it? I guess it doesn't work on like Percy Jackson logic, where like
there's no mist.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, that's why Harry got in trouble. In book 5 actually, because he performed the Patronus charm in front of Dudley. They didn't know about the Dementors being there, so all they knew was the charm had been cast. So that was obviously that was when they were trying to amp up the laws to target him specifically, but it was still illegal regardless, supposedly. And then in the movie, they decide, even though he's already like on trial for breaking the statute of secrecy, that they're going to fly in the middle of the Thames and just and just full view of like the busiest river in all of Great Britain. Yeah, of course. Fantastic, David Yates. Anyways. Oh, okay. So Haruki's back to speaking Japanese. Interesting. Because like the first thing that Jess did was like add the extra law that he can speak English, because that was an issue when they were communicating the first scene. So that implies that he's reset and doesn't remember anything about what's happened.
Or he's just bilingual.
Well, if he was bilingual, he would probably... I mean, yeah, it depends. Actually, that's true. Yeah, he speaks... Oh, okay, all right. Indeed. Have you found the samurai? The samurai? Anyway. Haru pre-patch. Yeah, like, I mean, there was like... If that was like the conscious form that the pencil drew from him, and the pencil didn't account for his other experiences, then maybe that was like what was stored, potentially. But yeah, this also works. Just speaking Japanese to a ninja. That tracks. Anyway, there's an... I must find him and kill him. Little does he know that the samurai was actually just only an off-screen mentioned character by the creator of that OC, and thus never existed to begin with. Anyway. Oh, so okay, so he does speak English. Okay, so he does remember things. Okay. Who are all these people? Don't be alarmed, kitten. I'm here to protect you. Okay. From what? The goblin? The goblin's not doing anything.
Yeah, he's just kind of sitting there, honestly.
Yeah, and speaking of alpha bros, going back to what we said before. Who are you?
Oh my god! You're the one I was trying to draw!
Then why does the goblin look more like a warped version of Haruki than of this character? Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, to that point, cool. Yeah, common kitty. Exactly.
You're so hot!
Thanks, baby. Can you please tell me what's going on? She's busy. Let the goblin explain. Oh.
Did you not see it earlier?
Yeah, how did you miss that? I mean, yeah, sure, amongst the commotion and whatnot, but still, that thing stands out. What is that? I'll protect you.
I don't know either, okay? I tried to draw a hot guy like this, but...
I like how its mouth doesn't even fully open. It's like very slightly sewed together at like certain points of the non-existent lip, but then the rest are free.
I think it did scream earlier with an open mouth, but yeah, maybe in its standard form. Its skin is just melting constantly. Anyway, wait, dude, hold up. Why did you have the pencil?
Well,
You stole it, didn't you? You took it from Jess. Jess, is she here?
probably most likely downstairs looking for a pencil with her weirder friends.
Man, I love how this episode has just had non-stop Roblox Tycoon coded music the entire time.
That was a thing with the last episode as well. The soundtrack was definitely a choice.
I remember the Dan TDM Tycoon like it was yesterday. Wonder if that's still up, actually. I don't know.
I imagine so. Unlike Gacha tubers, Minecraft YouTubers tend to keep their old stuff more often than not.
No, it was the, like, there was a tycoon on Roblox called, like, the Dan TDM Tycoon.
Oh, okay. Haru? Man, I knew you were real. Like, okay, we'll come back to that later. How are you here? Anyway. Haru? Hey. Another thing I appreciate is that Rosie, like, because he tried to like do like embraces in some ways or like actual like shows of affection. Because I mean, in the flashback, which by the way, I remember like her dad is an artist as well, so I wonder what he would have made of the pencil, to be honest. But yeah, like there was in the flashback, she actually like as a child like tackles him, like fully tackles him to the ground, just so there's a little bit of like interaction between the different people. Because again, in Gacha life, one of the things that people used to avoid significantly was physical contact with the characters because you kind of have to, you know, pull some strings, basically. Haru, you're back! And of course, episode 1. Yeah. Yeah, see right there, it wasn't like a full thing with like, you know, like back of the neck or anything. Okay, so you've been desperate for him to come back to life after all this time, and that's the first thought that you have. I get that you're awkward, but I mean, you know, probably I would have rejoiced for a little bit longer first, but okay. I can't believe I kissed him! Haruki! I can't believe it! When'd you get back? Just now. Jess, something serious has happened. You need to come with me. Do you have the pencil? No, but I know who does. Or did. It's broken on the ground right now, but yeah. What's going on? I'd like to know the same. Oh well, I guess we'll never know. Oh, there they are. Okay, they are. They did arrive. Okay, the goblin's got full mouth open now. She's like,
Guys are fighting over me. This is cool.
Stephanie has my pencil. Who the heck is he?
I like how everyone's just pointing him out. He hasn't done anything. I don't think he's moved an inch. He's just standing there.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And what the heck is that?
Ah, they're fighting over me.
See, I told you.
I can't blame them. It's a shame they're not both hot guys.
One of them's hot, one of them's sensitive. It's the classic, you know, young adult love triangle. Stephanie, give Jess her pencil back.
Whatever, it doesn't work very well anyway.
What do you mean? It just made so many people.
Well, it doesn't work anymore because it's broken, you see. It's cracked. What'd you do to it?
Well, it didn't work properly, so I just threw it a little.
No, you fully went Victor Frankenstein mode. Like, got shocked by your own creation the second it came to life and like immediately denounced it. That's what happened. Which, by the way, one thing I never understood about Frankenstein is that, you know, how can he not realize that that the creature was not going to turn out the way that he wanted if he like had to fully put it together, like saw it on the table first? Like I don't know.
You did the trick now, because now I have my own hot boyfriend. And you guys have Haruki back again.
You know, when she puts it that way, it does kind of seem like things did turn out, except for the fact that we are a third of the way through this video, and we're probably going to end up having to deal with the fallout of like the magic or something. The crack of the pencil brought you back? Yeah, but it seems like it brought a lot more to life too. Why is the background faded now? Anyway, can you please explain to us what's going on already? Okay, well, first of all, I am back. I'm reborn. I've returned now from my drawing form. From the crack, I emerged from the world in which I was submerged. Stephanie tried and she failed to draw a hot guy and to no avail. Although I should just explain that Jess's drawing has come to life once again. Okay.
Jazz hands.
That's how he explains it. That'd be amazing. See, if this was like modern RosyClozy, that a musical version of this exchange would make sense, except it had to be an existing song because. But anyway, I told you before the posture adjustment is so I can sing better. In like, rather than being like, you know. I sound like that goblin over there. Anyway. This pencil's about to bring a drawing to life for a short period of time. But only when it deems necessary. Although there might be exceptions. Oh, sorry. Wait, so everything you said, Jessica, it was all true? I mean, what a coincidence that on this exact day that she confessed that, you know, suddenly he came back. You know, if this were a Disney sitcom, what would have happened is that she would have been like mid confession or something. It's like, okay, so guys, I gotta tell you this. Haruki is actually right over there, and then it wouldn't get to it in that episode, something like that. Anyway, let's give the cold guy a universe because it looks like Taylor. Very well. Full body nod. Fantastic. I do appreciate use of body language and non-verbal. Yeah, of course. All right. Okay. I'm not the only one who's been brought to life by this pencil, as evidenced by, you know, the goblin. There were all sorts of people who came out of the pencil. None of them stuck around, I guess. Yeah, including that guy over there. But where are they? Oh, wait a second. Have we gone from Harry Potter to Fantastic Beasts, so they're going to have to track down the drawings across New York City? Well, they're not in New York. They're in the UK, but whatever. Most of them ran off. I really don't know what's going on. But this doesn't feel the same as last time. Well, it isn't the same as last time. It's very... Yeah, what? Of course not. Don't worry, Haru. We'll figure it out. Oh, well, this is a lot to process.
Yeah.
You talked about a guy in a shop, Jess. Do you know anything about this? That's it! We need to go back to Gacha Crafts! All right. It might also be a good idea to bring those guys with us. Yeah, as evidence, that's true. If we have to. My, what a lot of students we have. Oh, wait, it's you again. You probably recognize us from last time. Oh, I recognize her, all right. She's been here multiple times. You see, the thing is... Oh. Who created this masterpiece? This transcendence of the heavens themselves? Yep, there it is. Knew it. Called it. All right. This is the most beautiful creation I've seen by far. See, you know what? At least the goblin is like aware enough to like, feel validation from a compliment. All right.
Keep it if you want. I have no need for it. It was losing the fight anyways.
Look, we need your help. Some idiots broke the pencil, and now different characters have come into existence. Let me look. Oh, this is bad. The pencils released all of the drawings that is ever brought to life. There actually weren't that many, and they were all humanoid. I guess because Gacha, but still. And now the magic is escaping with it. Where are the other creations? We face exact goblin in a future D&D campaign. I mean, I guess. I never played a non-verbal character before. Well, sorry kid, but you've broken it. I have a no return policy. Yeah, we're not after the money here, we're more concerned about the universe. It was, no, I need this pencil. I demand you tell me how to fix it at once. Mr. Electric, send to the principal's office and have him expelled! Anyway.
So good.
You have a secret feisty side to you. That is true, yeah, considering that she's like a bit known as the shy character. Yeah, I guess like after a little bit of like evolution, with a bit of time has passed, yeah, she's bring out more of her confident side. Nice to see. Gonna be Scuba Core just running around causing nothing but chaos.
Scoobert Core is crazy.
Yeah. I hate love stories like this. Oh, in terms of what? In terms of, I mean, off the gate, this kind of seems like a compliment in terms of. I mean, obviously, I mean, to be honest, like it's. I'm kind of convinced that Haruki was sort of like preconditioned to like Jess to some degree because of the nature behind his creation. However, like that side of him, in terms of innocent compliment, to be honest, yeah. Look at that quote on the screen. Yeah, you gotta love that about her. Okay, yeah, we're in a crisis. Fine. It's like one remark, sure, all right. I mean, I guarantee that Nathaniel would have absolutely said something like this at some point. Cause a little bit of orc fever on the side. It is a good trait of hers. And this would have been his reaction too. Anyway, if you want this pencil fixed, you're going to need to seal all of the creations back into the pen. Yeah, it's Fantastic Beast now. All right. A few swipes of the rubber on the back should do the trick. This is Fantastic Beast
is this
now.
a lamp?
Okay, well, what? Well, no, it's like, well, no, rubber is in like eraser. That's what that's the that's the UK equivalent. Yeah. On the side of my Doc Martin as I squash him. I mean, he's not that small by just a thin margin, but
Now, if you were Jacob's size, you could probably squash him, but.
The pencil is not designed to have multiple beings to exist at once.
Upon Bye-bye, Bard Boy.
Stay cool, bird boy. What about Haru? If you want the pencil restored, he'll need to be erased like every other drawing. Ah, it's gonna be nerdy prudes now, isn't it? What do we do now? Do we need to fix the pencil as soon as possible? Okay, he didn't accurately explain the consequences of leaving the characters alive. That's the thing. Because right now it just seems like they're just kind of existing. I mean, sure, you know, the pirate might become a nuisance to some people. The ninja will probably waste his life trying to find the samurai, but, you know, that's tragic for him, but erasure is probably not the solution to that. Unless the sweet embrace of oblivion is preferable to a futility, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah, these are the questions, I suppose. They didn't outline the rules. What are the rules? We don't know how much time we have. What day is it today? Friday. Great, that gives us the weekend to find them all. Ah, yes, because Monday is Doom Day, I suppose. Make their way back to Hogwarts. Yeah, which, I mean, I guess they would, which good luck, because that's in Scotland, so... Yeah. How about we all meet up here tomorrow morning?
Have fun with that! You can count me out of it!
I mean, yeah, I guess if I were her, I would not want my new boyfriend being erased. The goblin, maybe, but, you know. Yeah, they could do it, but these characters probably could not. Don't think you're not helping. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Curses! My one weakness! Guilt!
Let's leave these freaks, babe. Oh, you wanted Yoda voice, sorry. Let's leave these freaks, babe.
Yeah!
You're the only other person who knows what characters have escaped.
Well, I'm the only other person. They've got you, haven't they?
We need your help, Stephanie. Please help us. The pencil is all we have to see Haru. Yeah, until you use it to get rid of him. Again, what are the consequences of not doing that, you know? Oh, okay. The goblin was trying to actually impart some words of wisdom. Oh, okay. All right, so he is verbal. All right.
Yeah, and he seems to be suffering.
Kill me. He might be evolving. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think he wants to.
Fine. But this isn't because I like any of you.
No one asked you that. You don't have to go tsundere on us right now. You've made your monster happy. He must like you. Goblin, welcome death. Existence is torture. Goblin is grateful to Stephanie. No idea why. This is going to be lame.
Yeah, so lame.
I go so casually. This is gonna be lame. You know, me having to die at the end. He's becoming Torbeck is a goblinoid, so I guess kind of tracks. You know, he doesn't have a name. I'm calling him Torbeck now. Hello, young lady.
What?
Oh, okay. I know what's coming. There we go. I know the meme. Hi, Mr. Peterson. Haruki? Oh, this is a surprise. We were just talking about you yesterday. What brings you back? Well, a surprise visit. Oh, how lovely. It's only been a short while. there's this one series that I forgot the name of actually that I watched years ago that was about these three girls, one from Singapore, one from Germany, one from Australia. The German and Australian one were like in Singapore for an exchange program. They were all dancers as well. And then they had to like go back, but they were gifted this one this chat room by one of their older brothers, and when they tested it out, basically they found out that by like inserting like their codes, they can actually go into like a cyberspace and see each other, and then by sending like each other's codes, they can appear in any of those locations. Must have been a very expensive show to film, but still. And yeah, they had to excuse, you know, the ones like knew them, for the ones in Singapore, they actually had to excuse like they were back because of either surprise visit or something along those lines, whatever it might have been. I should remember the name of that show, actually. I really need to look that up again. Anyway. If that's alright, sorry to spin this on you again. Yeah, right. Are you staying here for another week as an exchange student? No, actually. I won't be here for long. Probably just the weekend. But you've come all this way from Japan. Twice. In a short time span. I know, I'm afraid I don't really have a choice.
It's a very quick plane.
Yeah. He probably got off the plane and got on immediately, yeah.
That's a very quick line.
We've come to visit us as soon as you did. He has been talking about you a lot. I guess she does know all there is to know about him because she invented it. That's like a girl's world, but I'm probably wrong. It might be. It might be. You know what? I'm looking that up right now because I don't want to forget. Let me just check. Yes, it's that one. That's the series. You're right. You're correct. Thank you.
I guess this is after she met the world then?
Well, I mean, they were going across the world, you know, in multiple settings. Which, yeah, actually, you know, apparently it was made in 2010, which I guess does, which, you know, I guess that's why they had like a custom group chat, because, you know, before the internet was like massively centralized, I suppose. There you go. So yeah, I've seen a girl's world, and I forgot the title. Oh, because it has like a bit, because like it's very tangentially related to the show itself. Anyway. Strange to be back here again. How have you been? Ah, yes. So, small talk in the middle of a crisis. The equivalent of flirting for me. Anyway, fine. I mean, life at school has been amazing. I guess he wasn't as aware. Maybe I guess that the end part where the drawing moved was artistic license from RosyClozy rather than what actually happened.
It's a stylistic choice.
Which, I mean, if it's a stylistic choice, that implies that Haruki, like, the second that he went back, became a drawing again, and he emerged from the broken pencil, was only like a split second for him. So, I mean, at least it was the same location. You know, cinematically,
Also,
that makes the most sense. But I mean, still, that must have been like a whiplash for him.
Also, that's a terrible blanket choice. It doesn't even fit the whole bed.
I think it's just kind of falling off the side. I think if you adjust it a little bit, it's probably better. I guess these are other drawings that aren't him. And that's probably a drawing that is him. Which, how does that work, by the way? I do love this, like, very casual montage and constantly.
Right, it's crazy that this is the moment where you could have the tycoon music, but then earlier they just decided they didn't need the guitar riff.
Yeah. Makes me feel envious. I'm kidding. Sounds like you've been having a lot of fun. Yeah, I have. What is it? That's me. Tom! Tom, what are you doing? Anyway. I really missed you, Hero. I missed you too, for the microsecond that I was away for. Oh, wait, did he just fade a little bit? Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, what's happening? I'm becoming a sketch again. You know what that means? We don't have to look anymore. They'll all become sketches anyway. As long as they don't, like, take the world down with them in some sort of, like, singularity implosion, we should be fine.
Just don't gather them all in the same place and we're good.
This is a take on music bit. Yeah. I wonder if you could, like, enter the drawing scape at some point. Anyways. Are you
this
okay?
quickly becomes Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Great game.
It's me. It's me. Mario. Yeah, I'm fine now. It must be the magic. We both have a lot of time.
No, you guys have plenty of time, actually. Because you don't have to find them.
Yeah, we have to find all the rules. Again, what are the rules?
You don't have to find them in time. They're just gonna disappear.
The pencil might be the only way that Haru can stay forever.
Okay, then use the pencil for Haru. Who cares about the others?
This does kind of suggest that that her idea is to, instead of actually using the rubber or the eraser for its intended purpose, she's actually trying to find a way to fix the pencil somehow, or hoping that, you know, by taking out the other characters that she can save him, which has a whole host of moral, you know, implications behind it.
What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, there's definitely the equivalent of Nox from Wakfu. Anyway. Give me the full cover with all 3 octaves. I don't think there's any more dialogue beyond that point. I'll save her, the princess from Bowser's kingdom. I don't know, something like that.
Figaro.
Oh my goodness. Morning, peeps. Oh wait, did that say peeps or peps?
No,
Let's
peps.
scroll that back.
Peps.
Morning, peps. Anyway, yep, there it is. About time. Now where's Stephanie? Glad you could make it. I might put it on my parody list. We'll see. All right.
I want to get rid of it as soon as possible.
I think it might be good idea if we split up. All right, gang, let's split up. Haru, Jess, and I will go look in the town. Oh, so Peter gets to not join you and your friend group? Wow. Peter, you go with Stefan and the other drawers. I guess to keep them on track. Well, then again, I think she should probably go and keep them on track because she's more assertive in that regard. Although, given that Peter blushed before when referring to Stephanie, maybe this is Melody playing Wing Woman a little bit. Maybe. Why do I have to go with her? Because I said so. Oh, and also, by the way, again, a thing that she pointed out earlier is that Peter's not stand up for himself, so... Once you've found some texters, we'll meet up to erase them. Oh, yeah, I guess they would have to have one group who doesn't have the pencil. You're right. But the equivalent of like in Miraculous where they split up to cover like grounds or something, but Ladybug has to be everywhere to capture the Akuma. But anyway. Sound good? And the others are like,
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to die. Tormek doesn't want to die either. Torvik has evolved a lot in the past 24 hours. Torvik is completely sentient now. Welcome back, Ion. I'm sure you're very confused with what I just did there. Anyway. Drawings! Here, drawings! They know their sketches. I guess Haruki did, but yeah.
They're not cats.
Torvik feels too many emotions! Torvik's very scared! It would be nice if I could get some help. Okay, this music here definitely says to me montage, but almost montage from Phineas and Ferb, if that makes sense.
Ferb, I know what we're doing today.
We're gonna find all of these drawings and make sure that they return. Gotta raise them from existence before they quickly start to learn. Can't believe I'm being dragged around with this.
Yeah, me neither.
You're the one who agreed to help for some reason. Then why are you here then? You have autonomy, right? I do not want to be here, but I've no autonomy.
I guess if I'm stuck here, then you are stuck with me.
Yeah, there's a bit of a montage thing going on here. All right, then. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot.
From everyone's perspective, you're the one to agree.
This is what I need on the parody list.
It's difficult to sing for this montage parody.
Oh, you weren't here for this, but we reviewed a video a few days ago. That was there was a voice acted. It was AI. It was a voice acted video. And the thing is that when you watch it on the review, it sounds perfectly fine. Well, I mean, like functionally, not by performance, because it's terrible. But when you watch the video on actual YouTube and you're wearing headphones, the AI voice only comes in from the left side of your ear because I guess Huxna didn't know how to change mono to stereo. So here's what happened. In preparation for that, I fixed it in post, so I just switched stereo to mono, made them two different stereo tracks. But here's the thing: that means that I have a completely voice act free version with all of the existing sound effects. And so Ed and I said, "Hey, we could someone could very easily dub over this. We could definitely dub over this one as well and turn it into another RosyClozy musical. That'd be a really good idea for the algorithm, honestly."
Yeah, that'd be pretty solid.
Well, I guess I felt bad.
Lame. Ah, yes, classic. Even in goblin form, Haruki defends his creator. Ah, there's the duck again.
Sorry?
Oh yeah, you don't remember the last episode. So yeah, this duck constantly steals his homework. It was framed as a terrible excuse or something at the start, but then it actually ended up being foreshadowing, and then it turns out he appeared here. Haruki actually tackled this duck and got his homework back the next day, which is how they all start, like, he and Jess and Haruki all started to bond with each other. That was the first step in terms of like getting Jess, an existing friend group. So the duck is weirdly important to the lore of the series.
Okay.
Welcome back to the pods I just walk into. You and Iona have the worst timing for your appearances, I guess.
Please shut up, duck. Oh my god.
I guess it's the same sound effect looped over and over again. This is why D. Bradley Baker books so many roles, because they know that the alternative is this. Oh yeah, that's right. Did your creature just quack at the duck? Torbeck speaks many languages.
Don't cut it, my creature.
Torbeck has read Frankenstein, and Torbeck thinks that Stephanie should as well.
Quack, quack, quack.
I don't know why she had to, like, I don't know why she, like, dragged him away, but okay. Torbeck is so evolved, he's learning new languages by even trying.
He must have
Give
kissed
another
the
24
duck.
hours and Torbeck will transcend all forms of intelligence. It would be a real shame to have to get rid of Torbeck before that happened. Maybe he knows where the drawings is. Again, a weirdly important duck to the lore. I like how the creature moves differently as well. Like the goblin walks in strange form. Anyway, by the way, in case anyone who doesn't know, the way to make a character like look like this in Gacha is if you go to the deform tab, and there are versions where the characters where they do walk like that. So that is how you're able to make a walking cycle for a character for these proportions. Anyways, bow in my presence, peasants. Peasants. I like the sounds. What is up with all these drawings? You're standing right next to one of them. You might get offended. Who would want a spoiled brat? I don't know, someone who never gets their way in life and wants to create the opposite version of themselves as a way of an escapism. Hey, you! The hot one! Torbeck? No, the other one! Oh! You're my new boyfriend.
You know what? On second thought, there are no moral implications. Let's just erase her. Excuse me, he's my boyfriend. What are you doing?
What? She's way hotter than you.
It's true, Brute.
Boy!
Boy.
Face it, loser. You're second best.
You know,
Yeah,
really, I
I
guess
keep
this
forgetting.
makes sense.
I gave him cold grey before at your request, and I completely forgot to change that again. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Stephanie, calm down. You couldn't even find anybody hot to love you that you... No. You couldn't even find anybody hot to love you that you had to draw someone. Grammatically incorrect that sentence is. And you couldn't even do a good job of that. How sad. Don't listen to these. Oh, I see. They had to get him out of the way in order to, make way for good guy Peter here to step in, and into the scene. Of course. Classic situation of, you deserve a guy that's way better than that.
Where can I find a guy like you?
Well, I'm a guy like me. Torbeck has killed two birds with one stone. Well, that's one way to capture them. Okay, so you saw two wizards on broomsticks and a ninja. Who else? Yeah, Taylor's dead. Oh well. Where is the samurai? Where is he? The ninja! Leave this to me, guys. Is my Japanese will come in useful this time? Please, ninja, please, cease this violence! Immediately. Like, well, that didn't work. I love this. Taylor's dead. Anyway. Wow. Hey, ninja! Have you found him yet? The samurai. There is no samurai. He was an off-screen part of your backstory. He doesn't actually exist. You don't want to help me? Fine, I'll find him myself. By the way, I like how of all the characters to get caught first, the character who's meant to be like canonically trained in the art of stealth is the one that they discover first. I was thinking of like Dark Knight because of the where are they? I know what the samurai is. He's in this pencil. Oh, why didn't you say so before? Let me in there. So, Haru's back. I bet you're very happy. Well, she's actively working in order. Well, as far as you're concerned, she's actually working to, be able to erase him. But again, I guess I guess a little bit of romantic interruption every now and then is something. But yeah, it's now time having this convo. They're not doing anything else, I suppose, as long as Haru's working on working as Japanese magic, I suppose. Then yeah. Anyway, of course, like everyone else. Except Stephanie, probably. Have you thought about telling him how you feel? Oh, no, he already knows. He knows. It's fine. What do you mean? I bet you want to kiss him. Yeah, they're off, yeah. They're gonna leave this town behind. No one's gonna catch them. They are the last of their own kind. No one apprehends them. Because they can all just fly. Quickly across the sky. They're on literal broomsticks. That was a long-winded one. I apologize. Anyway. Unless you've already done that. Aha! So you have. Shut up, Melody! Guys, do I have the ninja? Jess, are you okay? You're red. No, it's fine. It's just a little bit of orc fever. I mean, nothing. I'm fine. It's like, I'm fine. Retract immediately. Get back in there, blood. It's like the thing for like Cloud and Chance and Meatballs where it's like, enough to make a grown man cry. But not this grown man. Get back in there, tear. Your girlfriend's cute. She's not my girlfriend. We're just friends. Liar. Okay, that he calls him on that lie, but not the lie that he knows what the samurai is. I don't think you're a good judge of lying, Mr. Ninja person. Shut up. What are you talking about? Nothing. Just get rid of him already. Get rid of me? You tricked me! Whoosh! Leaves immediately. You shouldn't have done that. Or you should have been a little bit closer, I think. I have no questions about this. Ah, yes. Oblivion. Anyway, let's get back to these drawings. Okay, now that Haru has seen what his eventual fate is going to be, he is surprisingly chill about it. Yeah, he fought, poor guy, yeah. He fought a poor guy. He has witnessed how he's going to die. Speaking of literal broomsticks, how'd they find them? Anyway. Wow, okay, they're not even like worthy of dialogue. Oh, it's montage time. I see. All right then.
Yeah,
okay.
baby. I'll say this one's really...
Never. The musical apotheosis is upon me.
I will say, yeah, this one's really going on a lot longer than I was expected, to be honest.
Oh yeah, because you oh that's right, because you didn't know the time of it. Yeah, the first episode was nearly half an hour. This one is, I think, just over half an hour.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so when RosyClozy says mini movie, she means mini movie. Yeah, 32:26.
Yeah, fair enough, I suppose.
Speaking of RosyClozy. Oh wait, I didn't think this through. I gave myself a cameo, but now I have to erase myself.
She gets erased, and the movie just ends.
The whole world vanishes. That was this sounds like Pokemon battle music. I would love to see Torbeck versus Soldier. Versus Soldier Boy. Oh, well, Torbeck wins. Okay. The fact that this, again, shows a difference in mentality going from RosyClozy's, really, big fan of Drarry days compared to deleting the entire show later on.
Get your hands off me!
A pirate takes what he wants, lassie. I could have done this way earlier when I first appeared, but I was too concerned about me ship back then. Stephanie, watch out! Someone drew real bullets. Oh no. No! Torbeck! Torbeck, you're meant to stand in front of her, because otherwise how did you... I guess you push it to the side, sure, okay. Anyways, Torbeck, no! What's wrong with these bullets? Are you okay? You might want to have this conversation after, after you leave.
You protected me, my hero.
That was a very quick turnaround. I forgot he sounded like that. Torbeck's about to sound like this, apparently. Anyways. Okay. I'll be over there texting the others to say we've got the pirate. Excuse you! I can hear ye! No one has got me! I could just walk away! Or shoot you if I get me bullets working correctly. This is the pity. This is the UK, by the way. You can't easily.
I'll either run or blow out your brains. Ah.
Don't worry. We're here to send you home. It'll be very quick. It's all right. You won't suffer. That's what this comes across as, right? I think the idea is that this is it's a lost child who wants to go home because of that. But the way you say, don't worry, we're here to send you home. Because think what is about to happen to all of these characters, including the child. Yeah. It only hurts a little bit. No, it's back to Fantastic Beasts again. Now, don't that look good? Don't you want to go in there?
Well,
that to be one of the last ones.
There we go. She's dead. We killed the kid.
Yep.
Problem solved.
We're gonna murder the child. The sensation is mild. You did not seem beguiled by the concert of death. This plane she's left. I like this is almost all from Nerdy Prudes today. I click of that on the mind. Although actually that makes sense based on what I'm working on behind the scenes, but that's all I'll say about that for now. Anyway, Peter texts me. They found the pirate. You mean he texted you? Oh, that's that should be the last one. Yeah, they all just forgot about that, didn't they? Oh. I'm not going to last much longer. Jess, look at me. Everything is going to be fine. I don't want to lose you again. You should have thought about that before. You've never lose me. Do you mean you'll never lose me, or you've never lost me? Did RosyClozy not know how to use the past tense at this point? Anyway. Come on, Jess. Let's go meet the others. We'll fix the pencil, I promise. So she's on board with fixing the pencil, but she's not on board with granting any of the other drawings the right to exist by means of fixing the pencil. Unless she means that she has to, like, erase Haru first, and then the pencil gets fixed, and then he gets brought back. Maybe. Maybe that's how.
It's all too complicated. Just kill them.
Just, yeah. You're the child. Oh. You've had the secret explained to me. And I alone know the rules of the pencil, and thus understand the need for me demise. Promise me you'll make it
Oh,
quick.
great. That makes this so much easier, because we were going to do it anyways.
Why is Stephanie holding hands with that thing?
Don't call him a thing! He saved my life!
Alright.
You saved my life. I'm eternally grateful. The club.
Anyway. The gun isn't real. It wouldn't have killed you. Don't say that. Now she's going to go back to hating him. Come on. I know that you like her, Peter, but come on. Give poor Torbeck a few moments of happiness before he has to, die. Him and Coldgrave, yeah. Yeah. Well, Coldgrave guy, I mean, yeah. He, Torbeck killed him, so. Welcome back, Gojo. Oh, they all glitch at the same time. We need to seal them before it's too late.
Guys, they'll just what? Okay. I feel like maybe this was meant to be clear, and it just wasn't addressed. I'm genuine. Why can't we just let them why do we have to seal them?
That's why I've been saying the rules this whole time.
I mean, like, sure, but like they kind of doubled down, and I feel like we were supposed to get something, but like, I don't.
Wait!
You gonna kiss him now? Yeah, of course.
I won't forget you, my hero.
Torbeck has changed his mind! Torbeck no longer wants to die! Torbeck has seen the joys of life! And has a reason to exist, has evolved past his suffering now!
Please don't kill me!
Oh, Torbeck understands. Do I really have to say goodbye again? I'm sorry. We have no choice. Oh! I don't remember I think they did like a medley before that point, so I don't remember the exact Nutty Prudes moment, but yeah, close enough. I want to make some reference. Come on. Don't look so sad, guys. Yeah, careful with that thing. Yeah, I mean, there's even a step in this scene. You never know. Maybe you'll need me again in the future.
Jesus. That's such a grim statement. Maybe you'll need me again, and that's why I'll come back.
I'll be back. Yes, indeed. I'll fulfill your every desperate need.
Like the idea of being completely conscious and in love with someone and being totally aware of the fact that you have no right for existence except for as a slave.
I'll be back from the void. Wish my sentience would get destroyed.
Honestly, that would be a mercy.
Uh, uh, keep on drawing your OC, and that way you will always see me. It was nice seeing you again, Haru. Shame it's so short-lived. We're gonna miss you, bud. Thanks, guys. And when push comes to shove, this might be the perfect scene for Jess to confess her love. Da 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 ya, da 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 ya, da. Anyway, there's got to be a way. I think we both know I'm always going to be a drawing. I'm not supposed to be alive. Well, I want you to live on happily without me, Jess, like you did in the first episode before all this happened. I will. Group hug. I like how I appreciate how Steph is like, a little bit like awkward on the side and be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't join this. Am I sing up? Technically, I guess. I'm in a choir and I do songs on YouTube, so I guess, yeah, like that counts. Yeah. Everyone, it's just as he fades. Da 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 ya, da 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 ya, da 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 ya, da. It's like disappears in like pixie dust. Also, this is the same visual we had at the end of the first episode. So again, the cinematography of this is I appreciate that in terms because like part 1 and part 2 of like a lot of mini movies like don't have a lot of cohesion with each other based on like how they're presented, but editing wise, there's a little bit of a sense of like, okay, tying these things in. Yeah. We'll meet again. Don't know where. Don't know when. Yeah, that's another good one. Imagine if someone... Wait, actually, that's a good question. If somebody drew a sketch of Bill Cipher, a relatively easy character to draw, with that magic pencil, what would happen? He's already trying to go through realities. I mean... He's not going to stop thinking about him so easily. There has to be a way we can help. The only way we can cheer up is if Haru can be brought back permanently. But that's impossible. So let's make it possible. Yeah, that's a good question. Could you, in theory, draw a new pencil with the existing pencil and make the law that that pencil you just drew brings drawings to life permanently? Again, when the rules are unclear.
That's comic book logic right there, but I don't see why not.
You have to go to Mr. Mystic Spitlick or something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a crazy cut, by the way. No one's gonna know who that is. Not a single soul knows what villain you just made reference to. And no one's gonna know how to spell it either to find out.
I don't know how to spell it.
And I know it starts with a M and a Z. That's all I really know off the top of my head.
That probably would be enough to have Google kick in, to be honest. Anyway, convinced that Chris is doing the shop to bring him to life. I mean, he's not been convinced over the past few months, and also Jess did the same thing beforehand, so I don't know. All right, bye, Gojo. Thanks for stopping by. We'll meet again. Okay. And how might I help you both? Well, the thing is... Listen here, whoever you are. We need our friend back, permanently. Please, if you wouldn't mind. I don't care if you see him as just a drawing. Now I'm thinking of just a robot. He's not just a drawing to us. He deserves a chance to live. I've never experienced this much hassle with a drawing in my entire existence. I mean, there were only a handful of drawings in that pencil, so people can't have used it for that long.
Yeah, I have to also wonder, are we gonna address the moral gray area of like, sure, we have this big thing, he comes back, but like, don't the others
about the
deserve
others?
as much of a life as he did?
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, is anyone gonna be like, okay, but what about the others?
Mm-hmm. This is going into like the Jurassic World debate. Basically, it was like what to do with the dinosaurs now that they exist because they're alive and have like rights as living beings, but also that but how much of a danger they pose, and given their origins, yeah, another thing. A little bit less of a cataclysmic event if they were kept alive compared to any of the others, but
Right, and I mean, besides the wizards and maybe the ninja, the rest can be I guess the troll too. Okay, look, the majority of them can be integrated into society pretty easy.
Yeah, Torbeck can be integrated into society. Society's got to catch up and be a bit more accepting. But Torbeck would be fine. He'd find his place.
I don't think that's happening in his lifetime.
No, see, here's the thing: Torbeck should become a wrestler. Pretend that that's just his gimmick. That was a nice state.
He's part of the Sumo Little League.
There we go. Guys, what are you doing this way? What are you doing this way? What?
That's not it.
That's So no one told you that your friends would do this way. Don't know what that means. Anyway, looking for you. Come with us. Where to? Oh, he got rid of his desk. Maybe the desk was also a drawing. There's a musical today. I don't know. I mean, Wednesday is like the big choir rehearsal day, but aside from that, not really so much in comparison to everything else. I also haven't eaten yet, so that can't be a fed Jacob effect. Anyways,
I haven't, dude.
What's going on?
I also haven't eaten today. I need to get around to that.
Well, yeah. As soon as we cut the cameras, we're out of here. That's fair. Anyways, do you have the pencil? I could have done this from the beginning, but it wouldn't have made for a half-an-hour mini-movie, so, you're welcome. That pencil was not designed to be used with normal paper. I could have told your grandma that when I sold it to her, but, nah. Which is why creations cannot last long. See, this is what I actually kind of thought in the first episode, where if the original paper got damaged, would it work in the sense of a reverse Horcrux, just like destroy the drawing that emerged from it? But they never did that. Anyways, what do you mean normal paper? Well, a regular sketchbook cannot hold the magic of the pencil for very long. But didn't Haru disappear into the sketchbook? Okay, never mind. This, however, can. It was like a normal book to me. See, he could have made a sale much more easily if he just told them that from the beginning. This is no normal book. This book is capable of withholding the magic of the pencil.
Is that the only difference?
So why are you telling us this? Okay, the fact he's actually trying to help you now, don't look a gifted horse in the mouth, please. Or a, horse that is offering you a sale, I suppose. Whatever. Anyway. Well, your friends told me how detrimental to your friend is to you all. That's not... Use that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. I think... Okay, so Haruki's absence is detrimental to Jess. Haruki himself is not detrimental to the entire friend group.
No,
I think she meant RosyClozy meant to say essential. I guess. Yeah. Define detrimental, old man. Yeah, I agree.
Well, your friends told me how detrimental your friend is to you all, so I figured, given recent events and the fact that you solved them, I need something else to cause a bit of chaos.
Even Torbeck is evolved enough to know that's not correct. and I could use some help in the shop. Ah, okay. So instead of like making an active sale, you want free labor. I see. You mean? I think it's only fair I give him a chance to live. You know, being the magnanimous person that I am, deciding over life and death as I do in this magic shop. Draw your friend in here. Oh, you're making the deal before getting her to do the work. Okay, interesting. I mean, I guess
I'm beginning to. I don't know entirely that she's the one who's about to do the work.
Oh, he's offering Haru a job, which would make sense actually because he has no other paperwork in any other situation. So
I mean, sure, but also the fact that it was like, oh yeah, summon me back whenever you need me, and she's like, good news, I don't need you this time. He does.
Permanently.
You don't get to go away.
And you have no say in the matter.
And legally speaking, you don't exist.
Whoa, different location this time. Whiplash. I'm back? What's going on? What's going on is you get to work, young man. I'm sure your friends can fill you in on that when your shift is over. So, how long am I back for? For as long as you want. You won't turn back into a sketch anymore, which means forever, for longer than you might want, actually. If you wanted to turn back to a sketch, you couldn't.
I guess he could always kill himself.
Could he? There's the question. We don't know how his body is sustained.
That's fair.
I guess maybe if he goes in water, he might just turn to turn to paste. But yeah. Anyway,
Would he?
Really?
But would he retain consciousness though?
yeah, I don't know. If corrupted dip of retained consciousness, yeah, probably. Oh, hey, now that they recreated that from before, and regretted that as well. And the jockey was like, I knew you were dating. You can't fool me. Get a room! And then now the pirate like from the depths of the void. Arg, my ship! It has sailed at last.
Jesus.
Well, back to the eternal nothingness. My OTP can persist even if I cannot.
For the rest of us, do not deserve life.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Jesus. Oh my god.
No one thought about the implications.
Oh god, they totally could create AM.
Yeah? What could they create? Yes?
Yes?
What
Oh,
could
no,
they create? Just so they could create something then.
Oh, you didn't hear me. I said they could create AM.
Oh, right, yeah. Guys, you brought him back for me. Thank you so much. It is somewhat poetic that like Haruki helped Jess get this group of friends in the first place, and then in turn said friend group helped Jess get Haruki back. Again, another nice little like parallel between the two. So what's next? Have you way in a bedroom?
You know, a lot of men would really enjoy that offer.
Yeah, but he's already like somewhat been through that.
Sorry? What happened in episode 1?
So he originally woke up like top and tail in Jess's bed. Then after she screamed, he then like said to her, "Don't tell anyone I'm here," in Japanese. She rolled with it anyway. Then he hid in the closet. after her parents had left, obviously he asked, had her parents left, even though him the mere act of asking that question would put him in risk if they hadn't left, but they had, unfortunately. And then they did the whole speaking in English thing and whatnot. So that was the introduction. So he's already been through the hiding stage, kind of, for a bit.
Sure, okay, you mean actually hiding. Awesome.
Yes. And so does he. Anyway, thought you never suggest it. Oh, okay. Maybe he does mean the other way as well. Oh, someone probably should have told you by now. What do you mean by now? He just came back. You work here now. That's right. I'm declaring it. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. What? Oh, that's at the end of that scene, I guess. Jess, Haru, where have you been all day?
Is he just gonna move in? Wait, I just realized that's what they set up at the start, didn't they?
Kind of, yeah. But although that guy says like you work here, implying maybe he has like like free board or something there. But I don't know. Oh, we had. By the way, she could if they have the pencil now, she could draw him a house. Or I don't know, like fake his legal documents or something. I don't know. She could do something. She could draw him parents or any form of family unit. She could probably like have him stay with her grandmother, actually, considering that it was her gift in the first place. Anyway, well, you're just in time for some shepherd's pie. Actually, I have something important to tell you first. I decided to stay in England permanently. I mean,
there's no legal paperwork. Don't worry.
You're presumably underage as well, so you can't really make that call for yourself anyway. It's pretty lonely back home. I feel at home here. But what about your family? Who?
What's a family?
And Jess just like, two other like rushed goblin figures emerge. Anyway.
Oh, he's adopted.
Now with my friends permanently. Yeah, Toy was his brother the whole time. That's why they looked alike anyway. Oh, thank goodness. Don't tell you what to move in with us. Okay, I know the dad has a history of being like against Haru in general, but he has a point here. That's a lot to ask. No, I found a place in town where I can stay, and by that I mean we found an empty, vacant lot that just drew a whole building in, which is what I would have done in that situation. It has no furniture and is completely hollow on the inside, like void hollow, but we'll work on it. You gotta wonder, actually, do all of the interior details like make themselves into the drawing, or is Haru himself also hollow on the inside? His first medical checkup is gonna be a nightmare. It's like, well, good news, you're completely disease-free.
Or even more horrifyingly, they try to do they try to do even one of those arm pumps. Maybe by some miraculous detail they make it to the shop, but let's say it's just the arm pump, and his arm just crumples.
We're gonna try your blood pressure. Okay, how about an X-ray? Why is this page completely dark?
It's not been that long, Emily. It's only like 2 and almost a half hours.
We did start an hour later, though, so yeah, I guess that's probably why. But yeah, this video is 32 minutes long, so yeah, we need to cover the whole thing. Anyway, now we can finally welcome you into our family properly. What? You'll have to get my blessing first. Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like all of you should talk.
Will he though?
It was 20 months, but no. Oh, well, there you go. What are you both talking about? We need to capture this moment. That's a good question. If he is now photographed, actually wait, no, the photo there does the camera's magic, it wouldn't affect anything. Fair enough. Go get the camera. Don't be shy, stand close together. This is also a very classic parent move, by the way. Right down to removing themselves from the photo in question and just focusing on the kids. Get your camera ready, dear. You're on video mode. It says recording. You're on video form. Anyway. That was an interesting glitch. I like how every scene she still starts off alone, even though like the whole point was that she wouldn't be alone anymore. Also, he has to be around people all the time, but you know, every scene happening the same way. Also, I guess, you know, short skirt girl and the other guy from before, they kind of like patch things up, which is good. Oh, it's almost, oh, okay, Steph has a choice to make now. She kind of like eyed them down, being like,
who do I join? My actual friends? Or some guys that were nice when they needed me? Yeah, Jessica, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for stealing your pencil. Drug isn't as easy as I thought it was. That being said, Haru's back permanently, right? Can you bring my toy back, please? I really miss him. I'm grieving now.
Well, like, her second drawing was actually, like, great, though. What do you mean?
well, that wasn't her drawing, just kind of like the emote and the pencil at the same time.
You're pretty skilled, I'll give you that.
Thanks, Stephanie. Torbeck would be proud of you. I still don't understand. The pencil only brought to life something to help the other person. Yeah, Torbeck helped her. What do you mean? He saved her life and like curb stomped a bunch of drawings for her. Why did her creature come to life? Again, he helped, but yeah. The way I see it, it's helped her change for the better. And stay alive. Well, then again, if she hadn't thrown the pencil, then, you know, she wouldn't have been in danger, so I guess there's that too. Anyway, who would have thunk? Oh, hey guys, why did I miss? That's the montage where they, you know, they're now, you know, talking about Torbeck's memory. Okay, here's the thing. I like this final shot. I personally would have actually had the camera panning outwards rather than inwards. You know, to kind of like, you know, bookend it basically. You know, life goes on. You know, vast world. We are leaving the small window of this story. That's what that would imply to me. Anyways, life is good. It could be better. That's no rule of 4. Anyways, the end. Oh look, even Rosie herself survived. As much as the first. Amount of attention that my GLM received. That's a good point, actually. To be honest, like after the changes video, this was probably like one of like the biggest, like, you know, like building points for RosyClozy herself. Or the first episode was. And I can see why, because I really enjoyed that one. Time to have a long nap now in the sky, in the space. And so she fades. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. All right, and that was my drawing came to life again. That was the possibly pointless sequel. But to be honest, I mean, it didn't end up being that bad. And I do like how they tied that in at the end, like how, you know, the change for Steph being, you know, for the better. They gave someone else a character arc after having already dealt with pretty much everything from the first. And yeah, like I gave examples before about like how the existential crisis thing happened in terms of like, you know, Doraemon and Davis' development from there. There's a bit more of like a implication behind, you know, the reason that Doraemon can't move on and and they're like stuck in a time loop. In this case, there's no time loop to be had. It was just a case of, you know, she didn't feel like she was ready to move on and was presented with a chance to not do so. Honestly, from the person who actually did need the pencil the most in the end, as it turns out. I do also like how that like how it even like the cinematography, like I said before, it ties the two parts together more so than the story kind of did in a lot of ways. I'm not saying the story didn't tie things at all. It wasn't like, you know, the entire premise was completely abandoned from the first one, you know, because that's the issue that a lot of mini movies end up going in because people like get attached to the characters, but then the actual story has been complete, so they just put the characters in like random other scenarios, and it doesn't often work. This one kept the focus on the pencil itself, unlike the Angel Edits version, by the way, because that one in the last episode, she didn't draw a single thing, and that's basically like her actual talent and, you know, an actual power rather than like tied to the pencil. So yeah, I definitely have to once again reiterate how much better this show actually is in comparison to the other. So and yeah, it's for moments like that. I mean, it's even in the lessons and like some of the dialogue, if it is a little bit cliche. I feel like RosyClozy thrives in being slightly cliche. There are times in some episodes, particularly in Music Freaks, where that kind of goes a little bit too far into an extreme direction. But in this case, it was relatively, you know, well contained. And as far as pointless sequels go, this will manage to find itself a point and be as entertaining as the first, because someone understood what made the first one work. That's one like key to making good sequels. Actually, is not only expanding things that you've established before, but also acknowledging what came before and why people got attached to it, so you can give them the same feeling back. Because that's what people really want in a sequel. They want to experience the characters and story again, but they also want like the same like feel they got. And RosyClozy definitely really understood that in this in this context, which is great because it makes me excited for part 3, because there is a part 3 to this. My drawing came to life forever, which kind of happened in this one. So we're in a similar situation again, where it seems like everything is resolved. So what's going to be the story next time? Well, I can't think of anything personally, but clearly RosyClozy did. So I guess we'll see that some other time, maybe another 6 months or something. I don't know. Possibly sooner. Hopefully sooner. But yeah, for now, any final thoughts from you, BB?
I mean, it's decent. It all kind of falls apart a little bit, though, whenever it's like, yeah, why couldn't they just let them go away, though?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They neglecting to mention that aspect, like to establish the rules, definitely worked against this one. Episode 1 is definitely better because they didn't complicate themselves in that way. That's another issue that sequels that's going to a lot of the time, is making things overly complicated. And that's kind of what happened here, a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if it wasn't for that detail, it's pretty good, but...
There is always that one thing. Absolutely. That was because he died in the end. All right. Okay. For now, then, in that case, we'll see what happens in part 3, whether they fix that, they make it worse, or who knows. Oftentimes,
who knows?
Oftentimes, if we're going by you know, movie sequels, you know, in terms of like if the second sequel is good, that normally means the third one is trash. But we'll see. Maybe we're in safe hands when it comes to RosyClozy, but who is to say? Who is to say? But for now, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. Subscribe to us already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Bye-bye.